Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Ladies and gentlemen, on my channel, I'm always telling you guys, live an active lifestyle. Make smart nutritional choices, right? Move more, sit less. Fight against the laziness. It's not about perfection, but about consistency. It's not about what you look like in the mirror, but about how you feel, ladies and gentlemen. Remember these things. And I've talked to you guys about different kinds of, food and, nutritional things and, just things like that. We've talked about breakfast, and I've talked to you guys about the bagels and the sugars and the sodas and, some of these kinds of things. And, along the same lines, and remember, this is all about the consistency at which we eat these foods. This is, once again, not me telling you that you can't eat something or you can never have this or never have that. It's about consistency. Do not eat these kinds of things consistently, or you're going to feel like crap consistently. You're going to look like crap consistently. It goes hand in hand, ladies and gentlemen, right? How we look and how we feel are often correlated. But I'm telling you guys, don't chase the look, because you will notice how you feel before you notice anything in the mirror. You'll notice how you feel. You'll feel different immediately. I'm telling you guys right now, that first workout you do, the first week you start to eat differently, you'll notice immediate changes. Like I said, you won't maybe notice in the mirror or on the scale, but you'll notice in how you feel. Maybe your stomach's not bothering you anymore. Maybe you have a little bit more energy all of a sudden, right? Maybe your bones feel better. Maybe the soreness that you had in your ankles is gone, or your knees is gone. So you'll feel those kinds of things first before you notice, you have a six-pack abs or your biceps are 2 inches bigger. These kinds of nonsensical things that people are chasing. But when we talk about nutrition and the things that we put in our body, like I said, it's often will correlate with how you feel, right? People have lack of energy. We've talked about this. You're not going to get energy from an energy drink, from a can. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get it from pills and powders. You must get it from activity. You must get it through the nutrition that we eat, from the activeness outside. Things like the sun will give you energy, guys. I'm telling you right now. So when we think about something like hot dogs, right? And I've talked to you guys in the past about, some of these kinds of things. They're not necessarily good for you, right? You shouldn't be eating these things regularly. And we all know that, processed meats like hot dogs and, some of these cold cuts that, we like to enjoy to eat, especially during the summertime and people are having picnics and barbecues and these kinds of things are going on. You're going to get the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the processed meats. So when we think about these processed meats, we're talking about like the hams, right? These kinds of things, the salamis, these kinds of things. Like I said, we have to be careful with how often we eat this. I like a good hot dog just like the next person, man. Like I said, I throw some hot dog on there, a little bit of mustard on there. I might chop some onions up and put it on there. Maybe some sauerkraut, maybe some relish. I'll do a hot dog like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll do a chili dog or something like that. I've had those in the past. So once again, this is not me sitting here saying I've never had a hot dog. I don't eat hot dogs. You shouldn't eat hot dogs, blah, blah, blah. That's be hypocritical of me, right? What I'm telling you guys is the consistency. Once again, that key word there. And that hot dogs, these processed meats, they're not good for you, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way around it. It's not like, it's okay sometimes. It's really never okay to eat these things. These things wreak havoc on the inside of our bodies. They really do, ladies and gentlemen, because when you think about what it takes to create these meats, how they process these things, what the key word processed meats, right? It's not good, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's not that healthy. Now, if we want to eat processed meats, or if you're going to go that route and you say, hey, man, whatever, I like my sandwich, or I like this, or I like that, that's fine. Try to look for healthier versions. Because if you're going to do something consistently, at least try to make it the most healthier version of this that you can. So maybe look for a hot dog that's healthier. Once again, reading food labels works, guys, because there are healthy options as far as hot dogs are concerned. Now, it may not be the hot dogs that you're accustomed to, and maybe it might take some, getting used to as far as flavor and things of that nature. But that's where something like mustard comes in. That's where stuff like things like sauerkraut come in. These things that do not, take away from nutritional content, they actually add nutrition to it. So sauerkraut's actually a healthy thing for you. It's fermented cabbage, right? So this thing has a nutritional content to it. Mustard is not a bad condiment. Like you think about something like a mayonnaise, for example. Even ketchup can have a lot of sugar in it, right? Mustard is probably one of the healthier condiments that you can have. So once you start sprucing up the hot dog with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, then all of a sudden, that flavor may not be as potent, you know what I'm saying? Or stand out as much to you. It might be something that you can tolerate. So look for healthier options. When we talk about the cold cuts, maybe look for turkey, maybe look for a chicken, right? Instead of a ham or a salami, a pepperoni, things like of that. When we think about cheeses can be healthy, right? Like I said, in certain quantities, right? In different kinds of cheeses. I like to have feta cheese on my eggs sometimes in the morning. Great option right there, guys. Mozzarella cheese is a healthy cheese, right? Cheese overall, guys, can be a staple in your diet. Once again, we have to think about what kind of cheese we're talking about here. We're not talking about Kraft singles, right? We're not talking about American cheese, because I've told you guys in the past, I've done videos on this. American cheese is not real cheese. That's why it's called a cheese product. It's not actual cheese. So read the label and you'll see. When you look at real cheese, guys, it has like 3 ingredients in it. But when you look at some of these processed cheeses, like a American cheese, a Kraft singles, what you'll notice is like 7, 8, 9, 10 ingredients. These are the things that we're talking about. These are the details, ladies and gentlemen. So stay away from the processed meats regularly. Don't do these things, right? Got a lot of salt in it, and sodium, and all kinds of other stuff in it that you really don't need. Think about healthier options as it relates to hot dogs. Once again, think about not doing these every day or every weekend. Let's do hot dogs, or once a week we're doing hot dogs. Try not to do that. Maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. But you don't want to do it every weekend. Like I said, maybe you have a day in the week in your family where you guys grill and you do hot dogs and hamburgers every week. Like I said, I get that. But maybe get some healthier options then if you're going to do it that regularly. You guys know the deal.